This is CR with Coolest Reviews, where we put the views into reviews. Be the first amongst your friends to earn your bragging rights by joining the Cool Club. Tonight, we are covering King of the Hill, a show that needs no introduction. However, let me set up tonight's episode. There have been many crazy theories about this show. Yet when it comes to theories, Dale Gribble is definitely the most underutilized character of the whole series. So who is Dale Gribble, really? Well, I've got a theory for you. I know the writers of King of the Hill probably didn't have any of this in mind when they wrote the Dale Gribble character. But if we're making crazy theories, we might as well go big and make the internet fun again. We have all heard the theory that Boomhauer is spying on Dale, but something doesn't feel right about this. However, it does seem something is up with Dale. But what? If Boomhauer is spying on Dale, then why does Dale get away with everything unopposed? His friends ignore that he is a huge liability, look the other way when he blatantly spies on them,
for quality purposes, some portions of this telephone conversation may be recorded,
and makes other transgressions. He can afford to have all this high-tech equipment, gets away with behavior that would normally raise some eyebrows. Something doesn't seem right about this writing. Were they just being goofy to offer comic relief? So their comedy didn't seem too much like a grounded drama. No, that can't be it. Don't be ridiculous. There's another reason why Dale gets away with his crimes. Now, to put it into context, if Boomhauer is an undercover Texas Ranger, then maybe Dale is an undercover Fed. Yes, this would explain everything. But what agency would Dale work for? FBI. No, that's too tired. Mike Judge would pick something more interesting than that. Maybe NSA? He does live right next to the border. But that still doesn't seem right. DEA? No, he isn't involved in drugs that much. ATF? No, that can't be. He smokes constantly and drinks alcohol non-stop. And he's president of the gun club, so he isn't into regulating guns. Plus, he's into explosives and constantly has access to... Eureka! We found it! Dale has got to be an undercover ATF agent.
it just makes absolute, total, complete sense.
Let's look at the evidence. He smokes, so he frequents stores where tobacco is sold, allowing him to observe if large amounts of tobacco is being purchased for possible black market trade. Same with alcohol. Being president of the gun club, he would know who the gun nuts are, what kind of firearms they own, the people modifying guns, or who would be interested in buying illegal guns. Plus, Dale kinda comes across as an anti-government type, so criminals feel more comfortable talking about or even buying illegal guns from Dale. Dale has all kinds of surveillance equipment and openly admits to recording his friends' activities. He is always training, fighting techniques,
Pocket sand.
cold temperature endurance, hanging upside down, building his resistance to sprays and poisons. He's got all kinds of equipment that could aid in an undercover investigation. A computer, the only character that starts out with one, and frequently accesses the internet. The van, who knows what kind of surveillance equipment he might have in that vehicle. It literally has antennas on it. The microphone could go here, cameras could go here, telephoto lens here, extra storage here, and extra storage here. His glasses have low light vision capabilities. He has the bug spraying business, the perfect excuse to drive a surveillance van around. He can case houses, have access to the interior, and he can literally plant bugs in people's homes. We know he's willing to plant fire ants so he can exterminate them. How far is he willing to go? After that, he's alone in people's houses for weeks at a time. He has underground tunnels to get around in a clandestine way. Who knows where these tunnels might lead? Connections. And most importantly, he has more and better connections than Boomhauer. He's connected with John Redcorn, friends with Cotton, knows Mad Dog and Octavio, has some sort of Russian black market dealings, which is never fully explained. Joseph can report to him what's going on in school. But his most important informant has got to be Nancy. She started as a weather girl. That is a position where she could unassumingly listen in on important conversations. Then she gets promoted to news anchor. Without going into it too much, you don't get cushy jobs in news broadcasting if you're not connected. She is privy to what the news is before it is reported. Leaking info to Dale is just a phone call away. Wouldn't even look suspicious if she calls him multiple times a day. They are man and wife. All the clues were staring us right in the face. We just didn't know what we were looking at. Don't feel bad. I missed it too the first time. Dale can blend right in because they established him as an incompetent, paranoid, crazy person. But does this hold up? He owns his own business and is president of the gun club. He seems pretty on top of it to me. Could he just be pretending to be so dumb so no one suspects he's a highly competent agent? You might say that Nancy provides for him, but would she buy him all those fancy surveillance toys and guns if he was just a worthless burden to her? What if her cushy job is a cover for his hefty ATF paychecks? After the Texas Ranger badge was exposed, it got me thinking, what are the implications? If Boomhauer has a job like this, then it completely changes the rules of engagement for the entire King of the Hill dynamic. Also, Dale's got dirt on everyone. Nancy's infidelity. He knows Hank, so he has an inside informant on Buck Strickland's activities, and Cotton's activities for that matter. And perhaps most importantly, he has access to the biggest blabbermouth in the whole military, Bill Dauterive. Dauterive cuts every officer's hair and gets all the dirt. Everyone knows that barbers are the biggest gossips. All Dale has to do is give Bill the slightest bit of attention and approval, and Bill will be singing like a canary. If that fails, then slip him a shot of whiskey in each beer, and he'll be singing like a canary. And let's not forget that three-letter agencies sometimes work together, so Agent Dale Gribble and Agent Jeffrey Boomhauer could be collaborating, sharing information, providing cover for each other, and so on. Now let's look at Dale Gribble's background and training. We know he has his own business where he can travel freely, access people's houses, has news connections, knows several fighting styles.
Go to hell. Bah!
Is trained in firearms, has Russian spy connections, and understands logistics. But how did he come to this level? His training started with the abuse of his parents breaking him down and then... what? Oh, too dark? Just stick to the script? Okay. His training started in high school, while his other hotshot friends were thirsty for glory as football stars. Dale was learning logistics as the water boy. Learning the logistics of the front lines, bringing the stars water, and keeping their towels clean. He was able to quietly observe how the world really works from this humble position. learning how to blend and get the dirt on people, because we all know that arrogant hotshots speak freely around people that they think are beneath them. It's like they don't even exist. This gives Dale the perfect opportunity to study without affecting the inner workings of the team, how the players relate to each other, and how the coach makes his decisions based on the players' personalities. In other words, he learned small-scale politics. Later, when he and Boomhauer joined different academies, Texas Rangers and ATF, they could cover for each other, saying they were both in Houston or Dallas colleges or whatever. Or maybe their inner circle of friends know they are undercover agents. That's why Hank and the others ignore their bizarre behavior. They know that talking about it could get Gribble and Boomhauer killed. Plus, Dale just has the personality to be a Fed.
I've got 4 children.
I had someone earlier today with 8. Heck, I once killed a beetle with 30 million in her egg sac. You're fired.
In conclusion, let's face it, there is way too much evidence that Dale is an undercover agent for this video. So, would you like me to compile the evidence in detail from each season? Let us all know in the comments below, because obviously there's way too much to cover. Before you flood the comments trying to discount my theory, saying Dale recanted on his crazy theories when he visited Dallas, Texas in episode Dale to the Chief, and say, how can he use his anti-government persona to attract criminals if he turned all patriotic? Don't worry, I got you covered. I think that episode has the strongest evidence that he is an undercover agent. And I will explain why in another video, if this idea gets enough traction. So let us all know in the comments below how interested you are. Remember to like, sub, and all the things, and especially share it with all your friends on social media. Stay cool, Cool Club. Thanks for joining.